Hello everyone, today we are back and I have a bit of a different video. Today it's not gameplay of Stories 2. I'm actually gonna discuss the new title update that we will get tomorrow with Kulve Taroth, Boltreaver Astalos and Hellblade Glavenus. I'm gonna kind of give my thoughts and opinions, what I hope happens, things to dodge, like bad decisions. I think there's one at least. So just kind of an overview of Title Update 2. Obviously I am excited, of course, like everyone else, because Kulve Taroth, man, we all had a lot of fun farming it in Monster Hunter World Iceborne, trying to get that Skiar, the Skiar weapons, yeah, good times. But anyway, just wanted to go through it, see some cool ideas and my thoughts on the update. So first of all, before I start, something I want to discuss, and the only thing I'm concerned, and from what I've seen of the new trailer, it seems that this is the way it's going to happen, and that's quite unfortunate because the way the quests are labeled, and by the way, we have 11 quests, the content is going to be spread out in August, so it's not like we're gonna get everything tomorrow and that's it, we have fun for the rest of the month. No, we're gonna have 4 quests tomorrow on the 5th of August and 3 new monsters, 2 of them as Monsies. So we're gonna have Kulve Taroth, as you can see here, by the quest of co-op, 8-star, time, the Goddess of Gold. Now, I am not quite sure what time means. The way I think is either it's limited, and by the way, spoilers, because I'm going to spoil the secret final boss in 3, 2, 1. Fatalis, you can only fight Fatalis twice in the game, in its current state. So this might be the same kind of quest, as in you can only fight Kulve Taroth a limited amount of times, which I hope is not the case, because a monster just drops and you wanna have fun with it, you wanna try different ways of beating it, different strategies. I know I want to record at least 2 or 3 attempts at Kulve Taroth. One, I want to do a blind fight, see how it goes and how the fight would go down for the average player, and then I want to make sort of a strategy guide. So telling me there's a limit kind of concerns me, and I hope that's not the direction. I hope by time they mean like a time attack or sort of a speed run. Either you have, for example, 60 minutes to go, which is the way it works in these co-op quests. You have 60 minutes to go through the dance and whatnot, or kind of like a speed run in which the faster you beat Kulve Taroth, the better rewards you get. So that's what I'm hoping for, instead of, oh, you can only do this quest once. So you fight Kulve Taroth once and you're done. Which concerns me, because in September, in Title Update 4, yes, it's 4, we're gonna have Kulve Taroth high difficulty, so I hope this isn't the same situation as Fatalis, because Fatalis has cool gear, cool weapons, but you can only fight it twice. So you can't even craft whatever you want or explore the monster. And in hopes of that, I really pray that this isn't some type of limited quest and we're only gonna be able to farm Kulve Taroth in late September. That would be a downer and quite bad for everyone, for people who just want to play and have fun, for people who want to do videos on it, for speedrunners, whatever kind of player you are. That doesn't seem like a bad, like a good design decision, so I hope that's not the way they're going. But in any case, as for Kulve Taroth, I am quite intrigued because the monster was a killer in World. The way it worked is you had 2 versions, the high rank and master rank. And I do suspect they're going for a similar approach here, because Stories 2 is quite keen on borrowing things from World, such as the scout flies and the amount of world monsters we have, so they are definitely leaning towards World. And the way it worked is in high rank, or the first time we fought Kulve Taroth, it was a raid, in the sense of you had a bunch of players and they went there, they would fight Kulve Taroth, not kill it, they would only break the horns, which I have a small suspicion that might be the case here. We're not gonna slay Kulve Taroth, we're just gonna break the horns and get the rewards from that. I hope not, of course, I wanna kill it, I'm a maniac, yeah. But That was the way it worked in World. And then in Master Rank, you actually killed Kulve Taroth. You went all the way. So in this case, I hope we can kill it from the beginning, and that the high difficulty is just a stronger, harder Kulve Taroth. And in that aspect, I hope they don't follow World in that. I want a full hunt. I also, something I actually want them to do from World, I also don't want Kulve Taroth to be like the co-op dance. You go in there, you grab some eggs or whatever, you fight Kulve Taroth at the end, and you're done. No, I would like an actual dungeon, kind of like how we have the final dungeons in each area. For example, in Loloska, where you had the geysers, a little bigger dungeon, maybe have some mini bosses in the way. I don't know who, but some fire monsters perhaps. And then we would fight with Taroth. Something engaging, like the caves of El Dorado were so cool. How you could explore them, gather endemic life, and I hope they kind of have a similar experience. I am also quite curious to see how the fight will go. I'm really hoping for we can break tons of parts, like it's always regenerating parts, like the mantle. Kulve Taroth has a big mantle, as you might imagine. It has some phases. It begins with its big mantle, and then goes down to its base form, which is just kind of this lizard-looking thing. The whole Egyptian theme, I really like that as well, and I hope we also have that in the fight itself, especially the way Sorisu goes, the way the fights develop, the flow. I really hope we start with the mantle, we break the mantle, we perhaps get a turn of down, then it gets enraged in its true form. I hope something of the sort. I also think that we will have this as a way to farm something. I don't expect Kulve Taroth to be a raid. I've seen so many people give ideas. Oh, we can do raids for Kulve Taroth and we'll have the drops. We'll have tons of weapons to farm, or eggs or genes. I don't think that will be the case, especially with that time in the name of the quest. I think we will just get in, hopefully do a big dungeon, get out, and that's it, and we'll just use the materials to craft weapons and armor. But I don't think they're gonna introduce this revolutionary system. I really don't expect them to do so, because the way I see it is Sorisu really respects your time in the sense that, hey, you wanna go kill, I don't know, you wanna go kill an Gigante? Alright, accept the quest, go there, 5 minutes of then or even less, and go there, fight the Gigante, that's it. I don't really see them engaging that much, especially in endgame. They don't really engage that much in big storylines. Even the Deviants and the Yellow Dragons story quests, not story quests, but the quest lines, they're quite quick. You go there, you accept the quest. So we've seen at Yostra, go kill it. You go through the den, which is 5 minutes, kill that Yostra, that's it, quest done. So I don't see them having this raid system where you're constantly farming Kulve Taroth and getting random drops such as weapons or genes or eggs. I don't really see them doing that. That's why I'm backing so much on the quest itself being really good. I really want them to have a quest that's good. You might only get that wow factor once or not have that much of a reason to farm it, but I want the time that you farm Kulve Taroth to be special. I want a specific experience, and that's how I expect them to go. Honestly, I would like a raid system. I think raids are really good in extending a game's life expectancy, but not now. Maybe the high difficulty Kulve Taroths will have a raid implemented. A lot of people are also thinking that they're gonna introduce this new kind of system. I'm pretty sure I saw someone talk about how they would make genes. For example, you could get a dancer gene but in dragon, or a critical gene but in thunder. So they would diversify the elements in which some genes are attached to, because every gene has an element attached. For example, as I mentioned before, dancer is water. So if you want dancer, you have to use a water gene. But some people were saying how they expect that, for example, as I said before, for dancer to be able to get in the form of a dragon gene. Now, I don't think they'll do that. I don't think Stories 2 will really innovate its mechanics much more. I think all these content drops are just get the monsters, Monsies, and that's it. Make the armor gear, and they're not really looking forward to revolutionizing their mechanics. And I don't think there's a need, honestly. I'd rather them focus on giving us good boss fights and good monsters than trying to innovate the gene system and do something crazy, and that they waste time just trying to innovate these mechanics that might not even work out well, and then we get shafted of actual content. So I really expect this to just be a good hunt. You go there, you farm it sometimes, and you get back out, you craft the gear, the weapons, and that's it. It's also something to note that we can't get Kulve Taroth as a monster, so don't even think about an egg system. I don't think an egg system would fit. Maybe after you fight Kulve Taroth in a nest, you can get some fire monsters, but I don't think there's a need, especially with some of these quests that we have here that we'll go over. But yeah, as for a general sense of view, I just hope it's a good quest. I hope it's an experience. I want it to be in the caves of Eldorado, which is where Kulve Taroth resides, and I want a really good fight and hard too. I think right now PvE is easy. I think there's a big curve when you get into high rank, but once you start farming those genes, making good bingos, getting high rank gear, it becomes too easy. So I really expect Kulve Taroth to be a new spike in difficulty and a good quest all around. So that is Kulve Taroth. I love Kulve Taroth so much. I just love the design, the monster. Annoying that it's another fire monster, but I mean, what can we really do about that? It's just Kulve Taroth. But yeah, I don't expect some kind of rating system. I think you'll be disappointed, especially with the time. If this becomes some sort of exclusive quest, you kill it twice and you're done until late September, I'm gonna be mad. But we'll pray that's not the case. Now, as for the Monsies, we have Hellblade Glavenus and Boltreaver Astalos. Personally, I would have made Glavenus go down in the title updates. We have more than enough fire Monsies. Astalos as well, to be honest. We have like every Thunder Monster you could want outside of Boltreaver Astalos. I think it would have been much better to have Soul Seer, Mizutsune here. I think the game is in a big need of water monsters. We have two options. We have Mizu or Water Palamute. So I really hope they keep adding more content and they go in on the water monsters. We really need them. I think it's important for us to have more water monsters, because then you're just gonna see two water monsters and that's not what you want. It becomes too repetitive. But that's a discussion for another time. This is what we have. Would have liked a bit of a difference in the monsters or the order. Let's go with order, that's better. Especially because if you look at the title update 3 in early September, you get 2 ice monsters and a water monster. I wish that was his update, because for ice options you don't have much besides Volcana. Kushal is used a bit, but Volcana is the main ice monster, and you have more than enough thunder and fire monsters, especially fire monsters. I mean, they're everywhere. But as I said, this is what we have. So as for these two deviants, as for Glavenus, I mean, I like him. I think although he's a fire monster, he's gonna bring some innovation, because right now what you see is Theostra, and that's about it. You can see, I've seen Theostra in PvP and whatnot from the limited time I've played PvP, but I watch some PvP content. I like it quite a lot actually, and you pretty much see Theostra. That's it. I've seen a couple of basals, but it's Theostra because it's just so good compared to anything else. that there's really no point in using any other Monsie. Teostra is what you want for a fire Monsie. But Teostra is usually geared towards Blast with its Blast abilities, and you borrow some from Basil, so you can use a ton of Blast moves. And Blast is quite good because it puts you on a timer and the pressure is insane. It also leads to unfavorable matchups because if you try to delay Blast Blight, you're gonna have to bring in Monsies that perhaps you didn't want to. Maybe your Monsie or Nargacuga got inflicted with Blast Blight and you need it, so you bring in the Velcana, which has the bad matchup against that Yostra that's in the field. So Blast Blight is quite a good status, and if you use Hammer and use the Chasers, it's quite sad that you have to eat the status to use it. While Burn, which is what base Glavenus is more based towards, is much better to use because you already get a tick from Burn the turn inflicted, and then the next turn you can use Blast Fire Chaser. So Burn is kind of underrepresented, and I think Hellblade Glavenus can gear us towards that meta a bit more, seeing more burns. That's something I would appreciate because burns, as mentioned before, also help Hammer become a bit more consistent in terms of its damage output. So Glavenus, he's gonna have to be quite good. He definitely hits hard, and he's gonna need to have some good burn abilities for him to compete with Yostra, in my opinion. Definitely excited for him. Glavenus is a cool Monsie. I think everyone loves him. As for its genes, I mean, the way I see it is you can make a Fire Teostra, as in Fire Blight Teostra, but as I said before, Blast Blight is kind of the better option right now, in my opinion. So you should be more geared towards using Blast Blight. So Glavenus, if he's strong enough, he can compete with Teostra and kind of become the Fire Blight. I keep saying just Fire. The Fire Blight version of Fire Monster. Its abilities will have to be quite good though. He's gonna need some good genes to keep up with Blast Blight. To be fair, Glavenus has some good genes with Fire Blight. They're a bit lower on the proc rate, but they're still good. So if Hellblade comes in and he has good skills that inflict Fire Blight, I could totally see him being meta. And it's also good that he's weak to water. If I recall, I'm pretty sure Glavenus and Hellblade share the same weakness to water. So that's good because, as I mentioned before, there's a really big lack of water Monsies. So having a Monsie like this is also good because its elemental weakness is not used that often. That's why I like Water Pelmet, to be honest. It helps a lot with Teostra and possibly Hellblade starting tomorrow. So I definitely think Hellblade has a place in the meta, and we'll see how that develops. Now, as for Boltreaver Astalos, he's another one that I look at, and I think he's gonna have some tough competition because you have all the Thunder Monsies you could want. You have Kirin, you have Thunderlord Zinogre, you have Rajang, even regular Astalos. They're all so good. And their abilities, their Thunder abilities with paralysis are so amazing that it's gonna be hard for me to see a good way of using Boltreaver over the existing Monsies, of course. I mean, that's actually a lie because he's a technical Thunder. So that's already good. And the way I see it is, well, he might be technical. We still don't have confirmation if they're gonna be the same type of attack. But in either case, I think they'll keep their attack types. I would hope not, because I mean, I already have a Glavenus. Why do I need a Hellblade that's also power, you know? So I hope, for example, Hellblade is speed. I really think we need more speed fire Monsies. And Boltreaver could also be speed or power Thunder. That would be cool to see. But I'm just going off the tangent that they're gonna stay with their regular counterparts type of attacks. Technical is nice, also because of what I mentioned. If Hellblade is also good, well, Teostra will always be top PvP. That's not a question. But if Hellblade has a different functionality and also becomes meta, then I would expect to see a ton of other Palamutes, because they are good both at targeting the water weakness and the attack type. So something like Boltreaver Astalos would be a really good partner for the likes of Kyostra and Hellblade, because being a technical thunder means it can chase out water Palamute pretty often. Although water Palamute has noxious spit, which is always annoying, but still, on average, you would be forcing it out. Now, as for Boltreaver, I also really expect him. I want a different kind of thunder attack, honestly, because we have amazing thunder AoEs, we have really good thunder single attacks. So I'm not quite sure how Boltreaver would bring something else to the table, but perhaps something like Thunder Call, where it hits a plethora of times, but we already have that. I don't know, I would hope with these Fated 4 Deviants they would introduce some type of attack. For example, they have some of the Vengeful abilities, like, you have Vengeful Ice Drill from Lagiano, which you do more damage when you are below 50% HP, so that's a cool mechanic, and Astalos has Vengeful Thunder, so seeing some type of mechanic like that, maybe more damage the more HP they have, like, I don't know, Peak Performance Thunder Attack from Astalos. If you have full HP or over 80%, you will deal more damage, so that would be cool and would have some newfound purpose for Dancer, although Dancer is already a pretty good gene. Could also provide more utility to Dancer and even self-heal, so you could get above this threshold, so something like that. I hope they bring these kinds of abilities, because it's hard. Thunder and Fire are such competitive elements. I think they are the most competitive elements in the game. Ice, you have Velkhana, Kushala, Gammas can be used somewhat, but it's not really that useful. It is good in some stall teams, but it's not something you really see, such as Kushala. Kushala is also more used as a tanky Monsies. Some people stall, for example, they use Great Swords and they build up charges while their Monsies are stalling, and then they just throw through White Slashes. That's a real cool strategy. But you have Kushala mainly, then you have Volcano, which is the ice type of choice, and that I'm remembering, you don't have much more. Yes, you don't have an ice event. The Elder Frost Gammas is only September. Yes, so nothing. Water. You have Mizu, which is mediocre at best, because it's more of a main story Monsies. It's at the end of Lamore, so yes, I guess you could call it end game Monsies, but not really. Its stats kind of lack, and it's technical, and there aren't really that good speed water attacks that can head to head, so even if you bring it to counter Kyostra, you're still at a disadvantage in type attacks. And we have Water Palamute, which is the best water we have, so we don't have much in Water Ice, and Dragon. We don't even have a Dragon Speed Monsies that I'm no, Dread Queen is Fire, yeah, it's Fire, yeah. So not even that. But with Fire and Thunder, we have so many Monsies, which is why I'm kind of disappointed that they went with these two for the second title update, and they kept Orochi Kirin, Frost Gamma, Solsir Mizu for later. I really wish they would be the first updates of the Fated 4 to shake up the meta a bit more, but that's not the case, so we can pray that they bring some cool new abilities. I am really hoping something like that, like big performance attacks or attacks. I would also like, for example, when you are inflicted with a status, let's say your Boltreaver Astalos as Fire Blight or Blast Blight, instead of trying to get it off, you would have this attack that when you're inflicted with status, that attack will do more damage. Something cool to give us new interactions, because I think PvP is a bit stale. as of right now, which is why I think that we could really do some cool stuff with these new Monsies. But that's a discussion for another time. Overall, I'm really excited for both of them, especially Boltreaver is coming to my team most likely. I think he is. I love him so much. He's one of my favorite deviants. But yeah, I hope there's some kind of innovation with them and that we see some cool new formations. I'm tired of seeing Yostra in every single PvP game. So I hope there's something to that. So them as Monsies are really cool. Now, another thing I want to talk about, but in fact I'll do so later. I think it will fit a bit better in the future. But let's just cover the quests. Now, the delivery for Star Quest special, dealing for dunkers. This seems like a quest to get a new recipe for a donut, so meh. But these two, co-op explore Thunder Eggs, co-op explore Fire Eggs. This is really interesting because, as I mentioned before, Stories 2 is a game that really respects your time. And the way that I see this is just like a regular co-op quest to go through a den, but all you can get are Fire and Thunder Eggs. That would be perfect. I really like this idea because sometimes I'm trying to farm for a specific type of egg, like Thunder Egg, because I want Thunder Boost XL, and I cannot get for the life of me a Thunder Egg because I'm getting everything else. I'm getting normal, ice, water, dragon, but not Thunder. So having this as a way to kind of just make the farming much easier is so appreciated. You can try to snipe those specific genes that are only on a handful of monsters, but that they're hard to get. Now you're gonna have much better chances. It's also better for more attacks. God, I really hope, I just thought of this, I really hope they add this for all the other elements, normal, ice, water, and dragon. Because let me tell you, farming vigilance genes is so annoying. They're on Deviljho and Stygian Zinogre, but good luck. Good luck with that. So I hope they keep doing this. It streamlines farming so much more. And I also want these co-op quests to have all the dragon and deviant eggs. I want to be able to get a Boltreaver Astalos or a Thunderlord Zinogre or a Kirin in one of these co-op quests in the Thunder Eggs. I think that would be perfect. As of right now, it's kind of annoying to farm for these deviants and elder dragons. You either need SR tickets, which yeah, we have ways to farm them, but honestly, it's a bit annoying. It's annoying having to go through the farming of bottle caps and then go to the dens, and you can only get one of them in the last den, and if you don't get it, it's a waste, and you have to either farm more bottle caps or reset the game. It's annoying, so I hope we can get elder dragons and deviants as normal eggs in these quests. Doesn't mean they're gonna show up every time, but let's say that these dens have 3 nests. You can get those other dragons and deviants in all those 3 or 4 nests. So that would be greatly appreciated. I also think with more deviants coming into the game and Orochi Kirin in September, the whole Aller Dragon and Deviant thing is kind of losing a bit of its shine in the sense that we're gonna have more and more, so it's not only the specific ones that we started with in the game. So introducing, at least another way, I'm not saying it has to be super easy or even easier, but just another option. So now you can try to get a Kirin while you're farming for Thunder Genes. It would be so appreciated. And let's not try to keep them that much anymore. Start giving us more options. It's sad that we can't get them, for example, from paintballs, from sending all the dragons back to their dens. I think something like that would be quite cool, but it's not. So we're here stuck farming, and then you have to get them for the genes. And it's the whole gene farming with the other dragons and deviants, especially because they have such amazing skills, kind of becomes a chore. And when it becomes a chore, you do it less often, but you need to be stacked for PvP. So I hope these new co-op quests are a new way of getting other dragons and deviants. But just the thought of being able to get specific types of eggs, like I want to get Bombardier, you know where to go. I hope this is the type of quest. I hope we have 5 dens, just a ton, get all those eggs. But yeah, really good idea. I hope they do this for every element, because it's an amazing way to farm. And could not have thought of this. I never thought of this idea, but it's so cool. Now, let's go to the second part of quests, which will be in the 19th of August. And I have a couple of criticisms here. First off is, yeah, it's cool in a way that they are going with this whole, you get some quests on the 5th, some on the 19th. That's cool, but at the same time, especially with these small updates and when you have a roadmap, if this was an expansion, I would not even be that mad at this, but we have such small chunks and we have PvP, so you want everything you want as quickly as possible to test out the new meta, to make more sets, use them as quickly as you can before the next roadmap, the next title update, and your Boltreaver Astalos is no longer relevant, you know. So I don't really like this in a game with PvP. I think they should just, here you go, here's all the content on the first day. If you wanna do it in 2 hours, your problem. Don't come bitch about content tomorrow. You know, I would prefer it to be this way with the roadmap and PvP. And something else that seems like it's the case and I don't like is how the way the trailer is shown. It seems like we can get Hellblade and Boltreaver as Monsies on the 5th, but we can only fight them as monsters on the 9th. And the problem I have with that is due to their gear. Unless there's a way to farm for their parts immediately on the 5th, that's fine, I guess, but the fact that they will probably have new gear, such as weapons and armor, and you're locking them until the 19th of August, is something I don't agree with at all. As I mentioned before, we have PvP, so we want to make all these sets as quickly as possible for the new meta, so we're not behind, and we want to see them as monsters, and you're locking their gear to the 19th. That it's not something I appreciate. I would like to see the Boltreaver weapons immediately to see, people are using a lot of monsters that are weak to thunder, so let me get this Boltreaver greatsword or this Boltreaver bow and use it. It's good, so it's gonna be meta for a bit. But it seems you don't have that option. Now, something that I was thinking of is in the first part of title update 2, the co-op explore eggs, we could see, you know, let's say at the end of that co-op quest, Boltreaver is the boss. It's always Boltreaver with the thunder egg, and with the fire egg it's always Hellblade. That would have a way for you to fight them as monsters. You know, it's not the most farming friendly because you have to go through an entire den instead of accepting the quest and going to fight them, but you would be able to farm them and make their gear. So I hope that's the case. I hope they're the bosses for the co-op quests of the new elemental eggs, but if they are not, I will be a bit disappointed because you're locking their gear until close to the end of the month. So I hope that's not the case. Let's pray. Now, as for the quests, co-op 9 Slay Hellblade Glavenus, co-op quest, co-op 9 Slay Boltreaver Astalos, co-op 8 Turn, these are the trials. Now, subquests, Psycho Blaze Black Knight, subquests Lightning Revolt. These seem like the subquests, as in you just accept them, go to the location, kill them, done. So that would be the best way to farm them as monsters, I would assume. You can just pinpoint the quests, go there, kill them, deliver the quest, maybe get some good items in the process, do the same, go back, and just do it like that. But as I said, if we have a way to get their parts on the 5th of August, I'll be fine. It might take a bit, but I will be fine. So I hope that is the case. And then we have Delivery 8, Special Tantalizing Tobins. This seems like just another type of delivery quest for a recipe. Maybe it could be something good in PvP, maybe a new item that they'll introduce in some sets in PvP, that could be cool, but doubt it. And that is title update 2. This actually took longer than I was expecting, honestly. I kind of went on the rant, but that's just how I am with these videos. In either case, overall, I really hope this is a good update. I think it will. I think it's gonna be good. I just want it to be really good. We have Kulve Taroth, Hellblade Glavenus Boltreaver Astalos, 3 monsters that I love, and I want to see them well developed. I don't think they will screw up. Of course, it's always good to have some doubts until you see it. It's not good to build up expectations. If I was here yelling, this is the best title update ever, and then they pull some shit like you can only fight Kulve Taroth twice, I would be quite mad. So just tempering expectations. That's the best thing to do nowadays, I think, especially with COVID. You never know how these games come out or these title updates. Never know. But overall, I'm expecting a good title update. Think we're gonna have a good run in the caves of El Dorado. Hopefully, a good fight with Kulve Taroth. I'm excited to see how the whole co-op quests will work with the genes and the eggs of their specific elements. I hope that's a good way to farm some of these genes. I really want to fight Boltreaver Astalos and Hellblade Glavenus, even if it's just as a boss at the end of the dance. I'll do it. I'll take 10 minutes to fight them, I don't mind, but I hope there's a way to fight them and get their parts, unlike Fatalis, and hopefully not Kulve Taroth. As a closing note, well, I can say that I also think this update will have some stuff to do. The reason I'm not completely writing off the idea of Kulve Taroth being right is because if you notice, this is the only update for August. In September we have 2, so these updates might have more replayability than the other ones, but at the same time, since they are splitting the quests in the update, that might be their way of getting us through August. That's what I would think. But yeah, completely excited, and I really want that Boltreaver. I haven't really made the Thunder monster like the full set because I'm waiting for Boltreaver, just so you see how hyped I am. I also haven't been upgrading some of my weapons because I'm waiting for Hellblade and Boltreaver. I'm still using low rank fire and thunder weapons in high rank because I'm waiting for them. So I really hope we can farm their parts. But yeah, I think we'll have a good time. Honestly, as I said, I don't think this will shake the meta up that much in terms of PvP. I think it will mostly stay the same. Yostras, Nergigantes, Volcanas. I think it's gonna be like that for the most part. So I could see Boltreaver making a splash, because it's always good versus Nergigante. Nergigante uses some good amount of speed attacks, so having the head-to-head one is good. Also, Kushala has actually been seeing a bit of a ramp up in PvP lately from what I've noticed. At the beginning of the game, all I saw was Velkhana. Now we're seeing more Kushalas, so Boltreaver could be good in the meta. I really think it could be good as a PvP monster. Hellblade, yes, but I don't know. I just don't see how it's gonna compete with Teostra. Teostra is nuts, honestly. But yeah. But I also hope the Kulve Taroth weapons are good. I love the Kulve Taroth design in terms of gear. So I hope it has some good weapons, and I hope we can farm it. We could even see Kulve Taroth low rank. It's not Kulve Taroth low rank, but regular Kulve. We could see it as having the weapons, and then you could upgrade them even further with the hard difficulty Kulve Taroth. So that could also be really cool. But yeah, I think the update will have us busy until September, and then early September, honestly, is gonna be my favorite update, just because of the fact we're getting some representation in Monsies and elements that we need. We need water. We really need water Monsies. Please, Soulseer, be a good water. I wouldn't even mind if it was power. We'll have regular Mizu as technical, water Palmite as speed, Soulseer as power, something like that. And Elder Force, Scamus, and Orochi Kirin, I mean, I don't mind what they are. I want some good genes from them. We have more ice options, but we really need Solstier to be good. I hope it has some nuts attacks. We really need more water monsters. A big reason that's why Diostre is so big in PvP is because there's just not much for you to use to counter him. And you have some good speed options as well. Zinogre alone, a Thunderlord, is amazing. Kirin, amazing. Dread Queen is so good in PvP. People should use it more. But yeah, we have all these options, and for water we just have nothing. So I hope Solseer is good. We need Solseer to be good. As for title update 4, I mean Dread King, Rathalos, Molten Tigrex, more fire I guess. And then we're gonna have Silver Rathalos and Cold Brassian. And October is it. October, at least for this roadmap, I could see them waiting until, let's say, November and then showing us a roadmap for 2022 for stories 2. That would be amazing. But yeah, that's wishful thinking. I don't think, after all of this, I don't think they'll touch stories 2 that much, unless they have an expansion with like Rise monsters. But that would be a conversation for another time. In either case, really excited for title update 2. I'm gonna make some videos on it. I'm definitely gonna have a blind fight versus Kulve Taroth. Then I'm gonna want to make a strategy video, perhaps for players that just got into high rank and they don't have the best gear and they want to farm her. So I definitely want to do that. I hope Hellblade and Boltreaver can be fought, so I make videos on them, but perhaps some build videos. In my file, I'm already finishing, or mostly finishing, all of the content itself. Then I'm gonna keep farming. Lately I've been farming more, but then I'm gonna go heavy on farming. But yeah, I definitely want to make some videos on them. But in either case, this has been much longer than I was expecting. I will catch you tomorrow with title update 2. I hope everyone's excited as I am. Anyway, peace.